MSI Hitlist is on the air. My name's Rich Wildman. Glad to have you along with us today. It's going to be a fairly interesting show today as we've got 4 very good songs going up for Band of the Month. And the winner of our hit list, as you know, is going to get a PR package from our partners and friends from the Indie Music Bus, Worldwide Indie Radio, the Indie Music Coalition. And it's going to be a tough pick. That's my prediction for today. And we're going to find out what the guys think as well. Ian and James. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey there.
Pretty good, thank you.
Everything going all right where you're at, Ian? I know you had a lot going on today.
Yeah, we're celebrating my daughter's 4th birthday, so we've had cake and presents and a very excited young lady jumping around the house, and that was just the wife. So yeah, that's been busy, but busy in general at the moment. Got lots going on, doing a lot of video work, helping Mr. Paul Miro out with his new pledge project, which is coming in 2016, which he's actually tweeted a little teaser out. It's called Sonombre, and that's going to be awesome when it's finished. I've been working on this minifiguremotion.com, which is my new website about Lego animations, not just me doing Lego animations, but telling people and helping people do theirs as well, with blogs and vlogs and other such stuff.
Now, I got to ask you this question because I know that you tend to use the iPhone, iPad to do a lot of your Lego animation. Did you happen to watch the Apple announcement earlier today, and are you excited?
I didn't, but I have heard that they've got Force Touch on them.
12 megapixel camera on the new iPhone with 4K video capability.
Yep, and they've got the Force Touch, or 3D Touch as they're calling it, because they can't call it Force Touch because Star Wars is coming out soon and someone else has done it already.
Yeah, I think Luke Skywalker did that to Leia.
I think it was like Force Touch. Wouldn't that be sort of a cross between Luke Skywalker and Mr. Spock?
I don't know.
You know,
And Force Touch would be a cross between that and Mr. Savile.
It does sound a little bit dodgy, you know, all those people at Apple Force Touching. You know, so yeah, but it does look interesting. Obviously, the Force Touch gives you the multi-tap option where you can either sort of touch it hard and it will bring up options, or just touch it lightly and it will trigger the app or whatever. So that sounds rather good.
It looks interesting. It looks interesting, but I had to ask you if you were excited about it, looking forward to it because of the improved video quality.
Well, I'll be honest with you, right? I still use an iPhone 4S, and I've tried an iPhone 5, and I've tried an iPod 5th generation, and I have tried iPod Touch 5th generation, and I've tried my iPhone 6 as well. And I get better photo quality out of the 4S every time. Not necessarily because of the pixels, but because I think the light sensors in the camera are better in the 4S than they are in the later revisions. And I've heard a lot of people saying that, how much grainier the video and the photos are in the 5 and 6. And that's not necessarily because of the megapixels, but it's because of the how good the light sensor is.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I agree with you on that as well. James, back from Israel, his... I don't know if I want to go into it, James. I'm going to let you tell the details on this one. So how did everything go on your trip?
Well, all I can say is I've returned with a holy glow above my head. So something miraculous must have happened.
Is that what you're going with? You're going with the whole miraculous thing, huh?
I've just got an urge to sing Have a Nagila.
Well, please do. That'd be pretty cool.
All right, so you went to Israel for a week or so. Back safe and sound now, no worse for the wear.
I was there 2.5 weeks, and it was incredible. The weather was good, but the Wi-Fi signal was not. So I'm really disappointed that I was unable to host my quiz, but since then I was able to catch up on the show, and you guys did a sterling job.
And big congratulations to the audience on that one.
Yeah, they did really well. And you managed to capture a very good surprise shot of me, so kudos to you.
And that's what we do around here. We're just baiting everybody, looking for that one shot that we can use over and over and over again when they're not around.
Exactly, and you made the most of it.
That's exactly right, and we're glad you're back, regardless of how many funny shots we can get. We're always happy to have you back with us. That's for sure.
It is certainly good to be back, and I'm proud to announce I wasn't captured by any agencies, and I certainly wasn't kidnapped or tortured. So all was good on that front.
So another guy, in other words, the guy that Ian and I set up to do that to you missed it by what, 15 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, they kidnapped someone else.
Yeah, well, that's why I keep getting those phone calls. I don't know.
Yeah, better luck next time.
We should have hooked you up with Ben Draymond, who is the brother of David Draymond from Disturbed. He's been a guest on the show before and he lives out in Israel. We should have hooked you up with him. You could have done a one-to-one interview with him.
Yeah, maybe his Wi-Fi would have worked.
Maybe it would have done, yeah.
Yeah, now hindsight's 2020, I guess. If we would have thought about that earlier, we could have definitely done that. That would have been very cool.
Well, maybe next time.
Absolutely. Maybe next time. Are you guys ready to listen to these Song of the Weeks and pick out a new hit list winner?
No.
Yeah, I believe so.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You're not. Why is that, Ian?
Every week, right, we come on, we do the Sunday shows, the Wednesday shows. You ask me how I am. You ask James how he is, or Andrea. You talk to our guest. How are you, Rich?
Yeah, good point.
Life sucks, but you do what you do, and you make it through. You make lemonade.
When life gives you lemons.
That's right. So is that what you wanted to hear? You want me to, say something nice and fluffy and happy?
Is there anything going on in your life you'd like to tell us about?
Nope, not a thing. I'm, seriously, I got more things to do than I can shake a stick at.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we don't ask Rich any week
exactly
how he's going.
Exactly. You don't want to hear it anyway. You want to listen to music. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do, so we can listen to some great music from indie artists everywhere around the world. Now, I want to remind everybody, while we're talking about it, if you think you can just send a song to us and it gets on the hit list automatically, well, you're sadly mistaken. That's not the way it works. You send a song to Music Scene Investigation. Go to MusicSceneInvestigation.com to do that. And it is randomly selected out of all those that have been submitted already for air on our regular Sunday broadcast. If it is selected by our panel as a Song of the Week, it then moves on to the hit list broadcast, like what we're doing now, which occurs every second Wednesday of the month. If it actually wins a hit list and you are selected or you are voted Band of the Month, you then go into our nominees for Artist of the Year, and that takes place in January. So all I can say is congratulations to everyone who made it this far, and I wish you all the best of luck. That being said, see, it was longer for me to say that than it was to tell you about my day. Just saying.
That said, if you want to skip the process and click on the donate button and send in a bribe, then we're happy to put you in the hit list.
You can send in a donation, but you don't get moved ahead. We're fair. I'm just saying, we're fair. All right, we're gonna play 4 songs, and we're going to select a hit list winner. We're gonna do all of that right now. The first song we're going to play is the Song of the Week selection when Josh Conway was on the broadcast in early August, the 2nd of August to be exact. And the name of that song is called The Voyage. We're going to take a listen to that right now on today's hit list. Here it is, everybody. This is The Voyage from Nikki Joy on today's hit list.
At the edge of the sea, I hear you calling out my name. No destination to be seen. Take my hand and lead the way. Like a ship sailing to sea, I'm a vessel on the way. My life's beckoning to me to come and walk upon the waves. Before this boy age begins, fill my sails up with your winds. No compass as my guide, love's leading me to the other side. Before this boy age begins, fill my sails up with your winds. No compass as my guide, my eyes are fixed on a new horizon. Like a ship sailing to sea, I'm a vessel on the way. My love's beckoning to me to come and walk upon the waves. Take me higher, take me deeper, I'll go where you go, whatever it takes. Make me stronger, make me faster, I'll travel this course even if my heart breaks. Take me farther, take me wider, I'll go where you go, whatever it takes. Make me wiser, a true fighter, I'll travel this course even if my heart breaks. A living sacrifice. To die is gain, to live is Christ. A living sacrifice. To die is gain, to live is Christ. Like a ship sailing to sea, I'm a vessel on the way. My love's beckoning to me to come and walk upon the waves.
That is track number 1 on the hit list today, and we're going to go over and find out what everybody thinks, bring the panel back in, and get their thoughts on Nikki Joy's The Voyage. Ian, I'm going to start with you. I know you remember this track. What do you remember about it, and what do you think after hearing it a second time?
I remember it's that track, that unnecessary intro. That still gets me. It just doesn't belong. But I mean, the rest of the track, production is flawless. Didn't really like the effect on her voice, that sort of too much of a warble on her voice on that first sort of low down verse. But, as the song kicked in, her voice cleaned up, everything was great. Slick production, slick mix, great vocals, good hook, good track. It's good, really.
All right. Well, very good, Ian. I'm glad you like it. James, how about you? What do you think about the track from Nikki Joy?
Very sort of strong film theatrical type sound to it. You can definitely imagine it in a motion picture, especially the way it builds up and you have all of the sort of over dramatic orchestral drums going on, and there's a lot of movement there. The vocals are interesting. I think I agree with Ian on the fact that there's too much warble going on, and she's got a nice voice, but I think it could kind of do away with some of those embellishments. Apart from that, a little bit too long. Introduction slightly unnecessary for a song anyway. If it were to be used in TV or for film or something along those lines, then yeah, absolutely fine. Use it as build-up, use it as suspense. But as for something that's on an album or a single, not really necessary. And it's just over that 5-minute category as well, so it's snuck in.
Yeah, there are a couple that are in the hit list that are just over 5 minutes. At 5 minutes and 5 seconds is what this track actually came in on. And my thoughts on it really are very much what you guys have said. One of the things that I always notice very, very much, especially in women's voices, it seems like, are the vocal affectations that they take on. And it seems like a lot of female singers have taken on a similar affectation to their vocal, especially in the mid to late 2000s. It seemed like that's where it came from. And I kind of like it, but after a while, in a 5-minute song, it gets old after a bit.
It's one of those things that shouldn't be overused much.
Exactly.
A bit like effects and things. You don't want too much sort of embellishment, and these little grace notes can get irritating if they're overused.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. One of the other things I noticed on this song, I really like the overall production of the track itself. It moves along quite nicely. It's got a lot of highs and lows in it in the way of movement, but there was one strange thing about halfway through the song, and it's a little bit easier for me to notice because I'm sitting here with VU meters staring me in the face, is the wild swing in the overall volume structure of this song. I mean, it really is, it's compressed quite well, but there's the middle part of it is just off the charts in overall volume level compared to the rest of it, which really struck me as strange. But other than that, I really like the song. It tells a nice story, I thought.
Cool.
All right. Well, there is song number 1. Well, let's move on. Go ahead.
I need to leave because I've just, I got a bit bored while you were chatting there and was looking at the Apple keynote. And they've released the iPencil.
They did.
The Apple Pencil. So I need to leave because I need to start work on designing the Apple Sharpener.
I think you could probably do that from the comfort of your own home.
I probably could.
You could.
But I need to get in there quick.
You need an iPencil to design it with, though.
Why?
And then you have to have it designed before you need to sharpen that iPencil. So it's kind of a catch-22 there, I think.
$99 for a stylus.
Yeah, I know. But it's a stylus with a battery in it, and you have to charge it via your new iPad because it has a male lightning connector on it that there are no connectors for to plug into an outlet or something like that to charge it with. So, yeah, accessories. All right, song number 2 on the hit list is from the 9th of August. Mark Lemdansky, the Indie Music Coalition, was on the show with us. During that broadcast, Jet Fighter Kaleidoscope and their track Curses was our Song of the Week selectee. So You guys are ready for it? I'm going to play it.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, here we go. This is song number 2 on the hit list today. Jet Fighter Kaleidoscope, their track Curses.
Somewhere deep within the sea, there's a cave that holds a soul much darker than me. Yeah, she stands kissing the air that we breathe. At her feet lies a body, as though she's deceived. Will you rise up and stop her? A merciless woman who will stop at nothing to destroy the land of her fathers, of her fathers, of her fathers. Dare try to spite me, destroy the ground that you walk on in your act of defiance. The stars are mine for the taking. These oceans erupt and this world is now breaking. Curses to the one who killed my love. This mortal man must pay in blood. Curses to the one who killed my love. This mortal man must pay in blood.
That is track number 2 on the hit list. That was Jet Fighter Kaleidoscope. All right, let's bring the guys back, and starting with James and his thoughts on Jet Fighter Kaleidoscope's Curses. James, what do you think about track number 2?
Oh, I really like that. There was a lot of attention to detail, and the way it finished kind of left you wanting more, which is not something that happens a lot with many of the tracks that are submitted. That's not to say that they're bad, it's just saying that that one I just wanted to hear more of afterwards, which isn't a bad thing. As for musical direction, it went in an area that I didn't expect. This is the first listen I've had for this track, and I really didn't know what kind of area it was going into, but there's so much attention to detail, lots of really nice drum fills, good guitar EQs as well, there's space for everything. My only criticism is that the vocal probably doesn't quite match the music, in my opinion, but upon another listen, I'd probably get used to it. Overall, good recording, nice techniques, and it sounds a little bit sort of retro, especially in the way it's recorded. There's some techniques in there that are being used that I'm not quite picking up on, but it doesn't sound new, but it sounds old in a good way.
All right, well, that makes sense. I appreciate your thoughts on it. Over to Ian and his take on track number 2. Ian, Jet Fighter Kaleidoscope to you, my friend.
I do like this track. I think I remember this from the show, and my one issue with this was lack of production. All the parts are there, all the sounds are there. It's just not kind of gelling together fully. It kind of sounds like a kind of really well recorded live take, and I want to hear a little bit more. It's reminiscent of bands like Incubus and stuff like that to me, and I think they need to sort of look at that sort of style of music and. Just maybe a couple of beds in the background just to put it all together. Everything seems to be sort of too separate, if that makes sense. I like separation in a track amongst the instruments, but it just needs something to sort of tie this all together. And as James said, the vocal in places was a little bit low in the mix and could come up a bit.
All right, I appreciate that as well. My thoughts on this are kind of confusing to me. I'm hoping you guys can help me out here and explain it to me.
No chance.
First thing I thought, the backing vocals at the beginning, I thought they could have turned those up a little bit. I thought the lead vocal was fine at the level it was throughout the whole song. I didn't have a problem with that. I thought it was a nice, clean production. I didn't hear a lot of garbage in there, a lot of noise, or a lot of distractions at all in there. And I thought they used the echo very effectively on the voice when they used it. It worked out really well. One of the things, or actually two things I thought were odd about this song was the bridge. It was a very odd bridge, and it was very long for a bridge, I thought, as well. Second thing is the overall structure of the song, especially the lyric structure, which struck me as very odd. It had a verse, a chorus, then kind of a little short retelling of the verse, a synopsis. It was kind of odd to me. Is that something that you guys have run across before?
I think that was why I referenced Incubus. They're one of these bands who, in a lot of their tracks, they don't go by the standard verse, chorus, middle eight, verse, chorus, out. They don't sort of stick to the standard format. And I think, when you've got a band as good as this, and you've got a strong song and a strong vocal and some good performances, you can afford to experiment and be a little bit different. I don't have a problem with that at all. It didn't stand out as being different.
All right. Maybe it was just me then. Okay. James, anything else to add?
Going back to that bridge, yeah, I think it was unexpected. It was a little bit sort of disparate in a way, but sort of drawing on things that I've heard before. It reminded me a little bit of the way that Captain Beefheart can go a little bit off the wall in his more commercial recordings, where you'll get something that sounds relatively normal and then it'll just go a little bit bizarre. But I don't think there was anything too out of the ordinary there. It certainly kept it interesting.
All right. It was a change of pace. That's true. All right, well, let's move on to track number 3. Track number 3 was from August the 16th. That's when Ian Friedman joined us on the broadcast, and it is by Project Midnight. The name of the track is called Late Night Show. So let's take a listen right now to track number 3 on the hit list. This is Project Midnight with Late Night Show. Hope you enjoy.
it's overpowering. I should get my head straight now. I'm sensational, I make them scream and shout. Slash good fire into my heart. My deepest desire is to shoot them into. Bang, 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 she went down. Sound to run, I see home, it's on the ground. Where do I go? 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 Sound is a nice last show. Rest in pieces, love you bitches. That's what you get for breaking out of the leashes. I see waves, I see guts, I see monsters down underfoot. Where do I go now? Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go? Show me tonight's last show.
That was track number 3 on the broadcast today. That was Project Midnight with Late Night Show, bringing the guys back in. I'm going to start first this time around, guys, if you don't mind.
You go for it, Richard.
All right, well, I just figured I'd be fair, let everybody else go first. So, anyway, I was very surprised about one thing in this song and one thing only. It had a guitar solo in it, and I'm betting you money that that guitar solo was not really a guitar solo, rather it was a keyboard solo made to sound like a guitar solo. That's what I think. Over and above that, I think the vocals could have been turned up a little bit. I liked the bass at the beginning where it had that nice little glitch in it. That was very cool. I thought it was a little bit repetitive in the overall scheme of things, but it was nice that it kept me interested throughout the whole 5 minutes of the track. This one also was a little bit long, but it did keep me interested throughout the whole thing, and the ending of it was very unexpected. So that's what I think about that track. What do you guys think about it, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, sonically, from the point of view of the music bed on this, I think it's fantastic. But whether that guitar solo is keyboards or real guitar, my one problem with it was it sounded a bit too clean against the rest of the track. I wanted to hear it a bit more mucked up. Put the F in there instead of the M. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to hear it a bit dirty, a bit grittier, a bit more noise rather than sort of long drawn out notes and stuff like that. And I wanted to hear more glitching in the track as well. I think that would have stopped a bit of the repetitiveness that Rich is talking about too. You know, just there's some really nice couple of bits and pieces in there where the glitching was good. I would have taken it a little step further personally. My biggest problem with this track is still the vocal. I don't think his vocal style is quite fitting to the music. He's got a good voice, but I think he needs more attitude, more growl, rather than the sort of high sort of classic rock screams.
All right, well, that makes good sense. I appreciate it, Ian. Now over to James. James, your thoughts on track number 3?
Well, like yourself, Rich, I was a little bit surprised when that guitar solo came in. It was highly unexpected. As for the rest of it, I'm a big fan of the glitching sounds, and programming's very good. As Ian said rightly, there could be a lot more glitching going on, and that would make it a lot more interesting, especially over something like that guitar solo. It's the kind of thing that you could just throw in there, and it would make it more of a sort of weird sonic landscape. Apart from that, a little bit too long, as everybody's established, and a little bit repetitive, but good track, and a suitable entry for a late night show.
All right, well, there you have it. Late Night Show Project Midnight. Track number 4 on the hit list, the last track for this broadcast, before we pick a band of the month, is going to be from the 23rd of August, when Tom Chianti was on the broadcast with us. You guys remember that, right?
Who?
Tom Chianti.
Who's that?
Yeah, never mind. He's a very famous guy, even if it's only in his own mind. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Tom is a good guy. He's worked with some great names in show business. And
yep,
Ian,
you and me.
Ian, it doesn't matter how much you paid me to say that. I'll never say it again.
It was you and me. They were the great names in show business that he's
saying.
worked with.
Yeah, forget about Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, and all those and other people. So, anyway, track number 3, 23rd August, Tom Chianti in the guest chair on the broadcast. Song a little bit different than the ones we've heard for the rest of the evening this evening. This is a country tune. It's called I Don't Try to Run Her Life, and it's by Frank Watson. That is song number 4 on today's hit list. Here it is, everybody. Enjoy track number 4 on the hit list.
On my son's wedding day, and he asked me for advice. Asked Dad, what's the secret for a happy married life? Son, I said it's simple. It stood the test of time. I don't try to run her life, and I don't try to run mine. No, I don't try to run her life, and I don't try to run mine. I know you're thinking something else, but put that thought right out of your mind. Forget that word called compromise, 'cause she's right every time. No, I don't try to run her life, and I don't try to run mine. Marriage is a partnership, it is until the end. Always lift up the toilet seat and put it down again, so she won't have to do either. She'll always be your friend. That's the marriage partnership. Somebody say amen. No, I don't try to run her life, and I don't try to run mine. Keep your ideas to yourself, it will save you lots of time. Best a man be seen, not heard. Don't ever cross that line. No, I don't try to run her life, and I don't try to run mine. Don't raise your voice too loud to her unless to say yes, dear. Behind every successful man, a surprised woman is standing near. No, I don't try to run her life, and I don't try to run mine. I know you're thinking something else, but put that thought right out of your mind. Forget that word called compromise, 'cause you're wrong every time. No, I don't try to run her life, and I don't try to run mine. Son, I said the secret that stood the test of time. I don't try to run her life, and I sure don't try to run mine.
There you have track number 4 on the broadcast today. That was Mr. Frank Watson. I don't try to run her life. Let's bring the guys back in and start with James. James, what do you think about Mr. Watson's track? What do you think?
That's a sweet little country track. It reminded me a lot of Loudon Wainwright III, especially when it came to the sort of comedic line about lifting the toilet seat or closing it or whatever. Nice simple production. Something strange is going on though, and I think it might be because it's been converted to MP3. There's a bit of a strange sort of digital filtery sound going on, which I don't think is part of the production, but it was something that was bothering me a little my end, but I'm not going to use that in my sort of marking process for track selection. Very sort of simple layout, guitar, vocal stuff. Not really a lot to say, but I really enjoyed the composition. It's a well-written song, nice sort of simple message, and nice vocal, well performed. Ticks all the boxes really for me.
All right, well, very cool. I appreciate it. James, I thank you. Ian, what do you think about track number 4?
Yeah, I like this track. Again, James said, simple production, good story, well executed. I'm going to go slightly off the tracks here. Now, obviously, after every MSI show, we then let the artist know that they've been selected as Song of the Week, and I send the email out on the next day, and then we sort of plug them through social media. But this guy, I could find nothing on. No information on their website, no information on the internet, it would seem. And that makes it very difficult for a show like us to promote a track like this, even though it is very well done.
But you did have his email, right?
I did, and I emailed him, and I heard nothing back.
Okay. So it was a situation where he is kind of incognito, may have been captured over in Israel by someone.
Maybe his wife took exception to the song.
That very well could be. I'll tell you, listening to this song, I agree with both of you. The vocal artifacts, the audio artifacts on it were a little distracting, but I agree they may have been due to the conversion process on that. I liked it because it didn't take itself really seriously. It was a nice bit of comedic country music. It had a good sing-along chorus, a nice little catchy chorus, something you can remember. Along the lines of Garth Brooks' Friends in Low Places, that kind of tune. And I think that kind of tune is a fun tune to play when you're out drinking with your buddies and stuff like that at the bar and stuff. So and they could relate to that song too, because of course I don't try to run her life and I don't try to run mine. Makes a whole lot of sense to married guys. You'll learn about that, James. You really will. So, anyway,
I'm not saying a word just in case she tunes in.
There you go. I don't blame you, Ian. Don't blame you a bit. All right, gentlemen.
But did you close the toilet seat? That's the question.
You see, mine doesn't stay up anyway. It's a bit of a problem. So,
then you're okay.
It's like an automatic toilet seat, except it bangs every time it drops.
There you go. It's one of those anti-burglar toilet seats.
That's the one, yeah.
It wakes you up in the middle of the night, and if you're not using it, somebody else is. So, all right, we have a band of the month to select. So let's remind everybody who we listen to. Nikki Joy, The Voyage. We listen to Jet Fighter Kaleidoscope and their song Curses, along with Project Midnight and Late Night Show, and last but not least, Frank Watson's I Don't Try to Run Her Life. All right, what do you guys think?
Well, I'm kind of in limbo because all of these tracks have got elements that I like. I'm going to rule out Mr. Frank Watson, basically because I can't get hold of him. And I think, we're a show that's trying to offer promotional opportunities. And if we can't do that, then there's no point in offering more promotional opportunities to him. So I'm going to rule him out. Yeah, that's about where I've got to with this.
Okay, James, any thoughts?
Well, I'm really drawn to Song 2. Song 4's certainly got its charm, and it would be a nice one to play out on. But as Ian said, the guy hasn't got any kind of contact details in place. It's impossible to get in touch with, so maybe it can also be ruled out for those strange audio artifacts that shouldn't be there. As for Song 1, it's great, but it didn't really do much for me in a sort of hit list, from a hit list point of view. I think they've already sort of achieved what they need to achieve production-wise. And as for Song 3, good programming, not my cup of tea. I'm going to go with Song 2.
All right, so James goes with Jet Fighter Kaleidoscope and the track Curses. And
they've got a great name.
There you go. That's true. All right. My choice is made more the difficult even after James narrowed it down for me. My choice is between tracks 2 and 3, believe it or not. I think with a little bit of work, track 3 could be a really awesome tune. I think it's good the way it is. I really enjoyed it, and it kept me interested throughout the whole of it, which was it's a very difficult thing to do, to keep me on track for a full 5 minutes, and they did it. Track 2 is good. I just really, in my mind, had a couple of problems with the overall structure, the way it was put together from a lyrical perspective. I'm going to have to go with Project Midnight on this one. I'll go with track number 3, and Ian can make or break a tie. Ian, I'm going to toss it over to you.
Right, okay, this makes it even more difficult, because I was leaning towards track number 1, to be honest. But I'm going to listen to my esteemed colleagues who say that track 2 and 3 are the ones to be looking at, and I will work with that. So I'm going to rule out track number 1. Sorry. Right it goes. And, I like both styles of music. I like that sort of aggressive, industrial, sort of electronica sound of sort of track 3. But I didn't think the vocal fitted that properly. And I like that sort of quirky rock sound that track 2 had, but I did feel the production was slightly lacking on that. So I am stuck. But I'm going to go with my heart, and I'm going to stick with the rock, and I'm going to go with track number 2. And my esteemed colleague, James.
All
Sorry,
right.
Rich.
Hey, not a problem. No skin off my nose, I'm not the one who's disappointed.
British solidarity at its best.
The only person who would be disappointed out of this would be Project Midnight.
Sorry, Project Midnight.
There you go. And
a bit more glitching, and you would have won.
And of course, Frank Watson, and last but not least, Miss Nikki Joy. So, if you're going to apologize to anybody, don't apologize to me. They deserve,
I'd like to apologise to my mum and dad. God.
All right. Well, congratulations go out to Jet Fighter Kaleidoscope. Their track Curses. They are our band of the month, and we'll be getting in contact with them very shortly about just that. James, Ian, as always, it's great to do the hit list with you. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you very much.
And we're going to play out with Curses by Jet Fighter Kaleidoscope right now as we close out another edition of the hit list, reminding you, of course, to tune in every Sunday for our regular Music Scene Investigation broadcast, where we'll select another song of the week this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at MusicSceneInvestigation.com.
When is it?
It's 4 p.m. on Sunday.
When?
Eastern Time.
Right.
9 p.m.
Sunday.
GMT. Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Sunday. I got an echo in my ear right now, so I'm just doing that because it's fun. Anyway, if you want to hear what it sounded like, load up your echo machine, and there you go. All right, here they are, Jet Fighter Kaleidoscope, Curses, our song, band, guy, group of the month. right here on the hit list. Thanks for being here, everybody. We'll talk to you again on Sunday.
Bye.
I got to play the right one out. Damn.
Somewhere deep within the sea, there's a cave that holds a soul much darker than me. Yeah, she stands kissing the air that we breathe. At her feet lies a body, so though she's deceived. Will you rise up and stop her? A merciless woman who will stop at nothing to destroy the land of her fathers, of her fathers, of her fathers. Dare try to spite me, destroy the ground that you walk on in your act of defiance. The stars are mine for the taking. These oceans erupt and this world is now breaking. Curses to the one who killed my love. This mortal man must pay in blood. Curses to the one who killed my love. This mortal man must pay in blood. There's a cave that holds a soul much darker than me.